All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is add my adaptive limiter. And this is where I get the most amount of beef and get it to the competitive loudness, as I would say. So I'm gonna add this. So I'm adding my adaptive limiter down here. And I've been recently having my out ceiling at negative 0.1 rather than 0.0. A lot of people, probably most people have it at 0.0. But if you have it at 0.0, this is what bothers me. And maybe this is just me needing to get over this. But if you have it at 0.0, in the past, Logic used to have 0.0 not give you some big alarm button. But watch what happens when it's at 0.0. I'm going to turn the gain up a little bit. Ooh, yeah. It turns from a nice, cool, chill color to like bright red. Bright red used to be like the clipping, like you're clipping and you're getting super duper loud. Don't do that. So I just have this out of habit. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference, that 0.1 decibel, because a lot of what we do before this is going to make a much bigger difference. And you'll actually see some craziness that I'll do later if necessary. Probably will do it. To get this light off, basically. So anyway, now, if you're wondering what am I relating this to, this is where the reference track comes in. So I'm not even going to adjust gain yet until I listen to a reference track and have a reference track on hand. So I have my Go Away EP here, and I'd say Inner Fire is a song that I released. I released Inner Fire. I started this song way after I started this series, but I finished it before and put this out beforehand. So I'm going to listen to this to see how loud it is, and notice I have this on full volume. So I'm already noticing that it is way louder. So I'm going to turn my headphones down. So if you notice, that is so squashed and so loud. So if I compare it without making any adjustments to this. Ooh, yeah. So what I get in the habit of doing is I open a music player like this, and then on my keyboard I just hit the F8 button, which is the play pause. So if I hit play pause outside of the software, it'll still play it. So what I need to do now is adjust this volume to get kind of close. Now on Inner Fire, I used the clipping, so that even boosted it past the limiter. That's kind of my unorthodox way of getting it loud, but I'm going to end up doing that. But I want to get my adaptive limiter kind of close just so we're there. So if I'm playing this here. Ooh, yeah. So I'm adding a ton of gain here. Notice you can see that we're really pushing up to that negative 0.1. So if I do that. Ooh, yeah. So now it's definitely closer. So, but if I hit play, which controls the Apple Music here. It's still way louder. So there's a couple things I'm going to do. First, I'm going to add a little bit of gain before my adaptive limiter to even boost that even more. So if we go to Utility and Gain, I'm going to boost this gain up. So I'm going to adjust this, and sometimes I like to adjust this gain super loud, so then I don't need to be as loud on the limiter. So I had this off, and it was sounding like this. Ooh, yeah. So what I might do is, okay, this is at 11.2, this is at 8.5. Let's call this, maybe I'll call this 8. So if I subtract 8 off of this, that's 3.2. Now that's equivalent to the same amount of gain. So, ooh, yeah. So now I can control my gain from here. Because watch, if I boost this up, it's going to sound super distorted. Watch. That sounds so bad. So bad. But it's in the right neighborhood of loudness. Because if you hear this, it's actually way too loud relative to Inner Fire. Well, actually not way too loud, but I'm going to turn this down, let's say to 8. Let's see what that gives me. Still too loud. Let's try -6.
Ooh yeah.
Maybe even, let's go like this. Let's go to 5.0.
Ooh yeah.
So it's noticeably louder. By the way, it's going, when you're mastering my method, it's going to sound way worse before it sounds better. And that's okay. I'm used to it right now, but like it is really demoralizing the first time you do it. You work so hard on this track, and then the next thing you know, you're mastering and you're like, oh my God, this sounds terrible. Don't give up. It's going to sound better and sound way better eventually than the pre-mastered version. So let's say that I leave it right here.
Ooh yeah.
So what I'm checking for is to see how loud everything is. So right now our sub bass is really loud, and we're not going to get into tweaking these things quite yet. That'll be soon. But I just want to get in the right neighborhood, like I mentioned.
Ooh yeah.
So it already sounds a little bit distorted, and we can adjust that. But the last thing I'm going to do, just to get myself in the right neighborhood, is after this adaptive limiter, is add my Bitcrusher. So if I go to my Bitcrusher here, this as my soft clipper, or just my clipper, I would say that I've added anywhere up to 2 decibels of drive here. I like to stick to 1 or 1.5 to start. Dubstep is the loudest genre that I know of. Even amongst the other loud EDM genres, dubstep, the producers just push it to the next level. So, sometimes if it's too like loud and pushed, I don't even enjoy it. But I'm going to start this at 1.5. So now this is going to give me, like, I'm pushing to the limiter, super loud, and I have 1.5 decibels over clipping, which maybe if you're doing like a soft acoustic mix, you definitely shouldn't do this because the clipping will be noticeable. But in a super distorted genre like dubstep anyway, the clipping actually, I think, enhances the sound. So anyway, now that I've added this 1.5 extra decibels of gain, let's listen to this now.
Ooh yeah.
So that's much louder. I'm going to hit play with inner fire right now. So now,
ooh yeah.
we still have a lot of work to do, but at least we're in the same neighborhood of volume, okay? I'm going to be making tons of adjustments, but now I've gotten myself to the point where I'm like, okay, now it's just more tweaking and getting the sound clearer and less messy rather than, I'd rather get the sound clear, but then I have to push the volume and get it super loud. So anyway, that's where we're going to stop for this one. And the next one, we're going to start actually making those tweaks and making those changes.